Hey, it's Adam here, and I'm here to tell you today about the effects of violent video games and how I think that you shouldn't be scrutinizing those who play violent video games. Many people fight for the fact that violent video games, such as Call of Duty Black Ops 2 here, online shooter, Borderlands or Borderlands 2, it's a first-person shooter RPG, and even older games like N3, 99 Nights. These games cause children to become psychotic, have no heart, whatever you want to say. And I highly disagree with these statements. And I have many other people that agree with my ideals. On the Innovative Public Health website, they show that only 10% of games played by children aged between 10 and 15 are recognized as violent games. And among these games, only 7% of those are realistic. Let's just stop for a second and think about that. 10% of, say, 1,000,000 games is only 10,000 games. And then only 7% of that is only 700 games. Many professional gamers have libraries that are way larger than that. Okay? Also, only 17% of games favored by these kids were violent. That's a lot of kids. Only 17%, that's not very many games. On the Guardian website, they show many different studies. For example, a study by Seth Gitter and colleagues showed that if you play a violent game with a positive goal in mind, such as this game, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, that you won't develop any aggression. There's no further aggression development from playing a game like that when you're protecting your friend. Also, in a 2012 longitudinal study, looking at the behavioral development of 165 teenagers over the course of 3 years, found that when pre-existing emotional, family, or social problems were accounted for, anything like being shunned out of a group or anything else, any aggression, increasing effects of playing video games disappeared. They just completely went off the map. And lastly, on Time Magazine's Techland, Matt Peckham shares many ideals with me, explaining that life isn't as simple as blaming an online shooter such as Call of Duty or even Borderlands. Both of these shoot. That's going to make a guy go and shoot up a place. That doesn't make any sense. The way I see it, when a shooter is a young male, the news media is going to make a fuss over violent video games. Video games. Finding that a particular young man with a gun shooting up a place is a male and happens to play these games is neither surprising nor is it meaningful. I want everyone who is watching to sit down and think, do violent video games really affect me? If not, please keep playing them to your heart's content. I think you will find everyone goes back to playing their games. Even games like this, N3, 99 Nights, it's a pretty old game. It's like, like '04. I don't even know. But games like this, where you have a humongous sword that's 3 times the size of you, and you go into a battle and you start chopping up people with the sword, chopping up peeps. Nobody's going to go out and get a humongous sword that's 3 times their size, go out into a public place, and chop up somebody with a giant sword. Like what? That doesn't even make any sense. The problem is not these games, these shooter games, where you have guns and you shoot people. The problem is the ease of getting a gun. Guns are so easy to get nowadays that you can go out and I could go out right now and I can go buy a gun and probably just keep it in my house. I don't know what I would do with a gun. But many underage people have these guns, and it's because it's so easy to get them. Also, you know Pokemon? Pokemon the game? That is a violent game, according to the way it's based. You take a creature, such as... Here, hold on. Such as this guy, right here. Look at the camera. You take a violent video game like Pokemon, you got this guy over here, and you face him against a cat, and you force them to fight. Would you classify that as violent? I would. But who's going to go out and be like, okay, dog, come on, go and fight that guy, kill him. That doesn't make any sense. Nobody does that. So, and Pokemon's been around since '96. Nobody's going to do that. Alright. That's all I got for this subject. See you around.